Good day, and welcome back to the Sussex File, the channel that reads the small print so you don't have to. I'm going to open today with a question. Just one simple question. If you hired 11 publicists in 5 years, at what point does your PR team stop being a communications department and start being a support group? Because that, and I want you to really let this sink in, is exactly what has happened with Harry and Meghan. 11 communications professionals. 5 years. One couple. One very, very revolving door. And today, we are going to walk through every single name on that list, work out what each exit actually tells us, and by the end of this video, you will understand why former Sussex staff have reportedly nicknamed themselves, and I am not making this up, the Sussex Survivors Club. Survivors, not alumni, not former colleagues. Survivors. Right. Let's go.
Making things up or somehow being racist, but now her precious Hollywood types are saying exactly the same thing. So, what is the key quote? This is a source close to Harry and Meghan Lee, who says that everyone is leaving the employ of the Sussexes because, quote, everyone's terrified of Meghan. She belittles people. She doesn't take advice. They're both poor decision makers. They change their minds frequently. Harry is a very, very charming person, no airs at all, but he's very much an enabler, and she's just terrible.
Now, before we get into the graveyard, I need to tell you something important. This channel, the Sussex File, is trying to reach 500 subscribers in the next 2 weeks. That's it. Just 500 people who want sharp, well-researched, no-nonsense royal coverage without the fluff. If you've landed here and you're finding this useful, genuinely, hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Because trust me, what's coming in this series gets significantly more interesting from here. We're just getting started, and you do not want to fall behind. Right, back to the graveyard.
As when former staff members found out that Meghan was going to be sitting down with Oprah Winfrey and tearing into the British royal family, they contacted Valentine Lowe and they said, we want to talk to you because we want to set the record straight that there is not just one story in town. And she was abusive, emotionally abusive, and a terrible communicator and bullied us. Valentine Lowe almost did not get that story cleared in time to rush it before Oprah. Thank God he did. But the objective was, you got to get this out before Oprah, or it looks like it looks retaliatory. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the issues Harry and Meghan have. They have their former employees sign ironclad NDAs. So you are not allowed to speak about them after you leave them unless they give you permission specifically to talk to Us Weekly magazine.
We have to start in 2018 because that is where the pattern begins. Meghan and Harry are 7 months into their marriage. The fairy tale is in full swing. And Melissa Tabati, Meghan's personal assistant, a woman who had previously worked for Robbie Williams and Madonna, meaning she had already survived some of the world's most demanding employers, quietly hands in her notice after just 6 months. 6 months. Reports said she left in tears due to the pressure of Meghan's demands. Now, when the woman who survived working for the man who sang angels to stadiums of 50,000 people cannot survive your household, that is your first red flag. But was it the last? Oh, absolutely not. Because the very next month, the Sunday Times ran a headline that would follow the Sussexes forever. Meghan loses second close aide, as rumors swirl of Duchess Difficult. And just like that, the nickname was born. Duchess. Difficult. 2 words that have haunted the Sussex brand ever since. Then came Samantha Cohen, and this one matters. Cohen had spent 17 years working directly for the late Queen Elizabeth. The Queen. She was a safe pair of hands, a master of protocol, the sort of professional you bring in when things need to be sorted out properly. And that is precisely why the palace sent her to help Meghan settle into royal life. She became their private secretary. She lasted until 2019. Author Valentine Lowe, in his book Courtiers, later revealed that sources described working with the couple as like dealing with a couple of teenagers, and that Cohen had been shouted at on more than one occasion. A woman who served the crown for nearly 2 decades left in 2019. That same year, communications secretaries Jason Knopf and Christian Jones made their exits. They moved over to William and Kate's team, which, depending on how you look at it, is either a natural restructure or the staffing equivalent of quietly crossing the road to the other side. But here is the crucial detail. It later emerged that Knopf had filed a formal HR complaint with the palace, alleging, and I'm quoting the complaint directly, "I am very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully 2 PAs out of the household in the last year." A formal, written HR complaint that triggered an internal palace investigation. The results? Never released. The complaint? Very real. If you want to see more on that, there is a cracking video on YouTube. Meghan Markle slammed as dictator in high heels by U.S. staff who quit to join Sussex Survivors Club, which covers the Hollywood Reporter investigation that broke this wide open. Fast forward to California. Harry and Meghan have left the royal family. They've landed in Montecito. They've got a Netflix deal, a Spotify deal, a new charity called Archwell, and the world is watching. New country, new team, new start. Clean slate. Except no, not quite. Christine Walsh-Shermer, their head of PR, formerly a senior communications director at Pinterest, so not exactly a career novice, leaves in 2021. 1 year in. Toya Holness, their global press secretary, is promoted in March 2021 and quits in May 2022. Insiders told reporters she found herself fulfilling a great many functions far beyond her job description, which is a very polite way of saying she did not sign up for whatever she was being asked to do. Then the Archwell executive team begins to hemorrhage. Catherine St. Laurent, head of the charity, 1 year. Gone. Ben Browning, the man who secured the Netflix deal, gone. Marketing chief Farah Taylor, gone. Archwell COO Mandana Dayani, gone. It is at this point that the operation starts to look less like a brand and more like a game of musical chairs where nobody wants to be the one still seated when the music stops. Now, here is where it gets genuinely extraordinary, and I want you to pay close attention to this next name. Rebecca Sananes. She was the head of audio at Archwell and this is key, the executive producer and co-creator of Archetypes, Meghan's Spotify podcast that hit #1. She built that show from nothing. And when she left after 18 months, she posted a TikTok video before her departure was even officially announced, where she said, and I'm paraphrasing closely, "The most powerful people in podcasting are not executives, not celebrity hosts, and not talent agents. They are the producers." The producers, having just finished producing Meghan's hit podcast. The subtext could not have been clearer if she had recorded it wearing a t-shirt that said, "I did the work." This is documented. It happened. If you want to watch coverage of the fallout, YouTube has the video, very damaging for Meghan Markle. Loyal staffers defend Sussexes after bullying allegations, which covers the response from Team Sussex in detail. Find it, watch it, then come back here. But nothing prepared the press for Josh Kettler, Chief of Staff, hired in 2024, resigned 3 months later, just days before Harry and Meghan's big official trip to Colombia. You do not quit your Chief of Staff position 3 days before an international tour unless something has gone fundamentally, profoundly wrong, or unless you simply cannot stay another minute. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter the atmosphere inside the Sussex operation was one where everyone is terrified of Meghan, where she belittles people and doesn't take advice, and where both Harry and Meghan are poor decision-makers who change their minds frequently. One source delivered what may be the most devastating line of the entire saga. Harry is a very charming person, no airs at all, but he's very much an enabler. And she's just terrible. That article, Why Hollywood Keeps Quitting on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle by The Hollywood Reporter, is cited everywhere. It is referenced in the YouTube video, Meghan Markle's horrifically bad response to Hollywood Reporter bullying allegations, which you should absolutely look up. Because Meghan's team did respond. And the response? Well, let's just say it did not exactly put the fire out. By Christmas 2024, Meredith Maines, their first ever chief communications officer, brought in with enormous fanfare in March of that year, announces her departure on Boxing Day. Boxing Day. She lasted 9 months. The same announcement confirmed that their outside PR firm, Method Communications, was also ending its partnership. In one Boxing Day statement, they lost their communications chief and their external PR agency simultaneously. You have to admire the efficiency, really. If you're going to clear the decks, do it properly. Meredith is considered the 11th person to exit the Sussex Communications operation in 5 years. 11. After her, Emily Robinson, Director of Communications, hired June 2025 from a senior role at Netflix, was gone in 4 months. October 2025. Kyle Bullia and Charlie Gibson, their US and UK press officers, hired April 2025, gone by June 2025. 2 months. So what does it all add up to? Here is the brutal, clear-eyed summary. These are not junior employees who burned out. These are world-class professionals. People who survived working for the Queen, for Silicon Valley companies, for Madonna, for major Hollywood studios, who took jobs with Harry and Meghan and left quickly, quietly, and in many cases visibly relieved to do so. The common denominator is not the industry. It is not the location. It is not the salary. The common denominator is always the same. Harry and Meghan have denied all allegations of bullying, consistently and categorically. The palace investigation findings were never released. Nobody has taken legal action, and there are absolutely people who worked with them and left on good terms. James Holt, their longest-serving senior staff member, called it one of the great privileges of his career when he departed after 5 years. But patterns, as I said at the start of this video, do not lie. One person leaving his life. 5 people leaving is a run of bad luck. 11 communications professionals in 5 years. People with options, people with reputations, people who did not need to stay, is a pattern. And a pattern that deserves to be talked about. That is episode 4 of the Sussex File. If you enjoyed this, and if it made you think, please give this video a like. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Smash that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell, because episode 5 is coming and it digs into Archwell Foundation itself. The money, the mission, and the questions nobody seems to want to answer. You will not want to miss it. Thank you sincerely for watching. I'll see you in the next one.